You don't trust me anymore, do you? The question hit me like a brick, out of nowhere. In the middle of our quiet dinner, the fork froze halfway to my mouth. Her tone wasn't accusatory, nor playful. It was something heavier, like a confession disguised as curiosity. I studied her face. Emma wasn't looking at me. She was staring at the glass of wine in her hand, swirling it as though the answer might rise in the crimson spiral. No, I finally said, my voice catching. I just don't understand why you've changed. That was the beginning, or maybe just the moment I finally admitted the truth to myself. We'd been married for 7 years. Stable, happy, or at least I thought we were. Until her friend Claire moved back into town. Claire, divorced twice, cynical, carrying herself like someone who knew all the ugly truths of love, and wanted everyone else to admit them too. Emma adored her. They met for brunches, long drives, late-night phone calls where I'd hear laughter behind the closed bedroom door. At first, I told myself it was harmless. Emma deserved friends, deserved time for herself. But slowly, I started noticing changes. The dresses that had stayed buried in the back of her closet suddenly reappeared. Shorter skirts, lower necklines. She started hitting the gym obsessively, buying expensive perfume, spending more time in front of the mirror than with me. When I teased her, trying to impress the neighbors, she laughed, but there was something sharp behind her smile. Then came the late nights. Work ran late. Claire needed me. Excuses layered so neatly they sounded rehearsed. I ignored it. Or maybe I didn't want to see it. Because love, real, stupid, blinding love, makes you bargain with reality. One night, I overheard them talking in our living room. I had gone upstairs for a book, but paused on the staircase when I heard Claire's voice, low and persuasive. Marriage doesn't have to be a prison, Em. Sometimes a little openness saves it. You deserve to rediscover yourself. My chest tightened. I waited for Emma to laugh it off, to say no, that's ridiculous. Instead, there was silence. A silence that lasted too long. When Emma finally spoke, her voice was quiet, almost trembling. But what if he finds out? I felt the floor tilt beneath me. The betrayal didn't come all at once. It crept in like a shadow at sunset, soft at first, then drowning everything. She started guarding her phone, changing her passwords, taking long showers at odd hours. And the smell, cologne that wasn't mine, lingering faintly on her clothes when she thought I wouldn't notice. I wanted to confront her, but every time I opened my mouth I froze. Because what if I was wrong? What if paranoia was eating me alive? So I played along, smiled at her jokes, cooked her favorite meals, kissed her goodnight while silently drowning inside. The breaking point came on a Thursday night. She said she was going to yoga. I nodded, kissed her cheek, and watched her leave in a dress too elegant for stretching on a mat. My chest burned. Half an hour later, I got in my car and followed her. My hands gripped the steering wheel so tightly my knuckles whitened. She didn't drive toward the gym. She drove downtown, parked near a quiet bar, and walked inside. 10 minutes later, a man walked in after her, tall, confident, placing his hand on the small of her back as if he'd done it 100 times. I sat there for nearly an hour, staring at the glowing bar sign, every minute twisting the knife deeper. When she finally came out, her laughter floated across the night air. She leaned into him, his arm wrapped around her waist, and they kissed before getting into his car. Something inside me snapped. I didn't confront her that night. Instead, I went home, sat at our dining table, and waited. The clock ticked past midnight. When she walked through the door, smelling of whiskey and a stranger's cologne, I forced myself to stay calm. Good yoga session? I asked, voice steady. She froze, eyes flickering. Just for a second. Yeah. Exhausting. I nodded. I bet. She kissed my cheek and I let her. I let her walk upstairs, peel off her dress, and crawl into bed as though nothing was broken. Revenge didn't come in fire. It came in ice. The next morning, I was up early. I cooked breakfast, packed her lunch, even left a note in her bag. Love you always. She smiled, kissed me, and left for work. By the time she got home, half her wardrobe was gone. The safe was empty. Bank accounts transferred. I had spent the day moving quietly, deliberately, leaving behind just enough to make her wonder when I had started planning it all. When she walked in, her eyes darted around the stripped-down living room. What happened? I looked at her calmly, the kind of calm that terrifies. I took your advice. My advice, she stammered. Or Claire's. About opening the marriage. I stepped closer, lowering my voice. I opened it wide enough for you to fall out. Her face drained of color. You knew. I knew, I whispered. And I wanted you to feel safe, free, rediscovered. Congratulations. You got what you wanted. A life without me. The last image I have of her is burned into my memory. Emma standing in the doorway, trembling, mascara streaked down her face, realizing the gravity of what she had traded away. She didn't beg. She didn't apologize. She just stood there, silent, as if words had finally betrayed her too. I left that night, my chest hollow but strangely light. Love had blinded me, broken me, consumed me. But betrayal had set me free. Sometimes I still hear Claire's voice in my head. You deserve to rediscover yourself. And I smile bitterly, because I did. Just not in the way they expected. I discovered the part of me that refuses to be a fool. The part of me that knows love without trust is nothing but a slow death. And I walked away before it killed me,